Hi friends, welcome to yet another video of my channel. Don't worry, be happy. I'm here today to present a travel vlog of a wondrous place. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Jordan is an Arab nation defined by ancient monuments, tombs, nature reserves and seaside resorts with Amman as its capital. We drove to Kempegowda International Airport, Bangalore, checked in and settled down. The flight to Sharjah, our transit destination, was delayed by 3 to 4 hours. But this wasn't a tad bit boring, as some of us were new to each other and hence we were busy introducing ourselves. Not only this, one of our friend's friend, who was also traveling to Jordan on the same day in a different airline, was facing problems checking in as her airline was not sure of the visa on arrival option at Jordan. The airlines were pulling her and her companion in and out of the check-in queue. My friend was constantly coordinating with her friend and we were helping by giving her inputs on how to solve the issue. This kept us busy and active throughout our waiting period. At last the boarding announcement came and we cannot tell you how relieved we were. After landing at Amman, the capital of Jordan, and relaxing and refreshing for an hour, we set out to explore Amman with our guide leading us. The Umayyad Palace is a large palatial complex located on the citadel hill of Amman. It is now largely ruined with a restored domed entrance chamber known as a kiosk or monumental getaway. This is a reconstructed dome of the monumental getaway. The citadel is a historical site at the center of downtown Amman. The L-shaped hill is one of the 7 hills that originally made up Amman. The new city of Amman is now built around these 7 hills. This citadel is said to have around 1,000 pillars across it. This is the incomplete Roman Temple of Hercules at the citadel. This structure served as a marketplace and each enclosure is a different shop. Amman's Roman Theatre is a 6,000-seated 2nd century Roman theatre. A famous landmark in the Jordanian capital, it dates back to the Roman period when the city was known as Philadelphia. The next morning, we travelled from Amman to Wadi Rum. On the way, we explored Jerash, Mount Nebo and Madaba city. First, we visited the archaeological site of Jerash. The forum with its organ pipe columns arranged around an unusual oval-shaped plaza is breathtaking. It's one of Jerash's undisputed highlights. It served as a marketplace and the main locus of the city's social and political life. The colonnaded street is still paved with the original stones and the ruts worn by chariots are still visible. An underground sewage system ran the full length of the street and the regular holes at the sides of the street drained rainwater into the sewers. This ornamental fountain called the Nympheum was constructed and dedicated to the nymphs. Such fountains were common in Roman cities and provided a refreshing focal point for the city. This well-preserved example was originally embellished with marble facings on the lower level and painted plaster on the upper level, topped with half-dome roof. Water cascaded through 7 carved lions' heads into small basins on the sidewalk and overflowed from there through drains into the underground sewage system. The Jerash Archaeological Museum was established in 1923 inside the courtyard of the Artemis Temple. In 1985, the museum was moved to the renovated old rest house. The museum is solely dedicated to the discoveries from the Jerash region. This is a Jerash amphitheatre. As you enter the theatre through a wooden door between the arches, there is little to suggest the treasure hidden inside. You emerge into the upper seating area which once housed 5,000 spectators in its 2 stories of seating, only one tier of which remains now. This theatre is almost perfect. Did you hear him greeting us with "Welcome India"? next stop was Madaba, a city famous for making mosaics. The artisans here create colorful, intricate mosaics of different shapes and patterns from naturally colored stones. They meticulously chisel the stones into very tiny bits with their basic tools manually and align and fix them together to form interesting mosaic patterns. We visited an artifact shop next. These are real ostrich eggs, the shells decorated with fabulous mosaic tiles in different beautiful patterns. This is a church which survived various invasions after the Roman rule. These are the views from inside the church. Mount Nebo is an elevated ridge approximately 710 meters above sea level. It is a very sacred place for Christians as it is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible as a place where Moses was granted a view of the promised land. There is a church of Moses here. According to Christian tradition, Moses was buried on this mountain, although his place of burial is not specified. This is the rolling stone displayed in Mount Nebo. It gains importance because the texture of this stone is similar to the stone on which Jesus Christ was crucified. This is a church for Moses built on Mount Nebo, and you can see us all praying inside the church. When you see from this point of Mount Nebo, you can see Jerusalem on a clear day. Jerusalem is 40 kilometers away from Mount Nebo. We finally reached Wadi Rum after exploring Madaba, Mount Nebo and Jerash. And oh my god, the spectacular view of the dramatic Red Rock Desert just took our breath away. Wadi Rum, also known as the Valley of the Moon, Wadi meaning valley and Rum meaning moon, does not justify the look of this place, as every bit of this land resembles the landscape of the Mars. It's also called the Martian land. At Wadi Rum, we stayed at the Sun City Night Camp. It is literally impossible to express the beauty of these domes and the extreme level of comfort that they offered. Can you relate how thrilling it would be to sleep in the middle of a vast expanse of desert? The Sun City Night Camp consists of 25 fully equipped luxury tents. Each spacious guest tent is luxuriously furnished with king-size twin or triple beds, Bedouin sofa, mirrors, lamps, and the finest bed linen. The restaurant at the Sun City Night Camp is amazing, which is cut into the mountains, and dining here was an incredible experience to all of us. Wadi Rum protected area is famous for its stunning desert landscapes, spectacular sandstone mountains, deserts, valleys, canyons, dunes and arches. The movies Lawrence of Arabia, Prometheus, The Martian and many other movies were shot here. The red color of the sand and the mountain is due to the deposits of iron oxide. Petra is a famous 3,000 years old archaeological site in Jordan's southwestern desert. Accessed via a narrow, long canyon, it contains tombs and temples carved into pink sandstone cliffs, earning its nickname the Rose City. Petra is a symbol of Jordan as well as Jordan's most visited tourist attraction. Since we were aware that we had a lot of walking to do that day, we decided to conserve some energy by taking a 800-meter horse ride till the entrance of Petra. Though I was terrified inside, I managed to put a bold smiling face. What's really interesting is the Nabateans knew how to manage water in case there was a flood in the canyons, and so they created dams and waterways where the water would flow in case of a potential flash flood. Deep within Jordan's desert canyon lies an ancient treasure, the stone city of Petra. This massive hand carved metropolis provides a window into an ancient civilization. A hidden handwork of tombs, monuments, and elaborate marble structures are carved into the sandstone cliffs. Believed to have been established as early as 300 BC, it developed into a surviving capital of the Nabatean kingdom. This contributes much to the modern day Jordan from the 3rd century BC to the 1st century AD. It's a 3-hour drive from the capital Amman. You can see a very impressive wall of tombs carved typically in the stone. Some tombs are accessible and visitors can venture inside. It is believed the ones on top are royal tombs and the ones below are for common man. But be warned of the extreme fetish of animal droppings inside the tombs before you decide to venture into one of them. Our guide informed us that the difference in shapes and colors of the rocks is due to the deposits of different minerals in them. One of the main tourist attractions in Jordan is the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is famous for being the lowest point on earth. We all know the name comes from the fact that no organisms live in these waters because of the high salt content. The high salt and mineral content of the Dead Sea make it highly therapeutic. According to legend, Cleopatra also loved the Dead Sea and used its products as part of a beauty regime. So naturally, we did not want to miss the golden opportunity of getting remotely close to Cleopatra. We not only soaked ourselves with the mud of Dead Sea, but also brought a few Dead Sea mud packs back home. The staple food of Jordan is falafel and hummus made of chickpeas. Every Jordanian meal features these dishes in some form or the other. Don't ever forget to carry your own bottles of water whenever you step out in Jordan. Due to the scarcity of water they face, water is a very expensive commodity. Our trip came to a close with loads of happy, overwhelming memories which would last a very long time. That was just when COVID-19 had started getting virulent. Though we were sad that our splendid trip was coming to an end, we were also very happy at the same time to get back home before the pandemic clutched the entire world with its claws. Never imagined I would walk the ramp in the middle of the desert. This was such a unique, scintillating experience for all of us. Our gala dinner at Jordan before we could leave the place the next day.